Cyber Sunday, and I will talk a little bit about the Gabe Sapolsky stuff as well at the end of the video, just so you know. Kind of want to get this out of the way, as I didn't figure I'd probably be able to get it done anytime else. So let's get started. This was, I thought, a solidly good pay-per-view. Not a great pay-per-view, but I thought it was solidly good, if that makes any sense whatsoever to anybody. So there we go with that. Okay, let's get started with this. We started with Kane versus Rey Mysterio. They came out, that was voted for a no-hold-barred match, which you would think would come out between these two guys being kind of good. It didn't. It was boring. It was Blair. It was blah. In my opinion, I wanted it, star and a quarter. I was hoping that the last pay-per-view would be the end of this feud, but apparently no. They want to test us a little bit more and, yeah, just make everybody miserable, I guess. Anyways, as this feud is going absolutely nowhere. Next we had Matt Hardy versus Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne got almost 70% of the vote from Finley and Henry. Henry only got 6%. And this is, see, I really like Cyber Sunday, and I wish they would do more matches like this, where they would do voting to just see who's over, just who really is over. And I think this is a great example of that. Evan Bourne definitely over. Hope the WWE doesn't screw it up. This was a good match, in my opinion. Good 3-star match with lots of, definitely a different style than what we see. Probably a little faster, still within the WWE style of wrestling, but a little different, particularly since they do let Evan Bourne do a lot of different things. They actually trust him to go out there and not kill himself by doing some of this stuff. But it was a lot of fun, really good match. Not really good. It was a good match, good 3-star match, and really enjoyed it, and I thought it was good. Next we had Cryme Tyme versus Miz and Morrison. Of course, you could pick Cody Rhodes and DiBiase versus CM Punk and Kofi Kingston, or Cryme Tyme and Miz versus Miz and Morrison, or Jamie Noble and Mickie James versus William Regal versus Layla. The fact of the matter is that I think people are going to complain because Punk and Kofi didn't win, but I think it shows the fact that Rhodes and DiBiase are not over as much as they would think, not Punk, whereas Cryme Tyme, I think, is the most over tag team in the WWE. People want to see them, even if people gripe that they're not that great in the ring. They're fun to watch. They're not going to set the world on fire. They're not going to go out there and put on, great matches, night in and night out. But they are fun to watch. They are entertaining. Fans really get into them. I mean, this match, Cryme Tyme versus Miz and Morrison, probably went too long. It went about 10 minutes, and it probably really needed to go about 8 minutes. There's probably about 2 minutes in that match that really needed to be cut out, as I do think it kind of slowed the match down. But other than that, I thought this was okay. I didn't think it was anything bad. I just think that they slowed it down in the wrong places. It was probably a little too long. It probably needed to be a little bit more action-packed for it to be a good tag team match. But it got kind of we started seeing the same things over and over again. And but it was okay. It was a good 2-star okay match. But definitely, I think it shows that Cryme Tyme and probably Miz and Morrison too, you're talking about the two most over teams probably in the WWE. So I don't think it should be that big of a surprise that these two teams won. And hopefully the WWE takes notice that Cryme Tyme is over. I mean, I don't again, even if they aren't that great in the ring, and it's not that they're bad in the ring. I mean, they do some fun things, and they do understand what they can and can't do, I think. And I enjoy their matches. I'm a mark for them, so there you go. Next we had Santino versus, it ended up being the Honky Tonk Man, probably to nobody's surprise, though it was much closer. He only won by 1 point over Rowdy Piper. The match only went about a minute. This was definitely a dud. And then they brought out Goldust and Piper to kind of attack Marella, as it was a DQ. It wasn't even booked good. It would have made more sense for Santino to pick up the guitar and hit Honky Tonk Man with it, or something, or something along those lines. It was you know, it was what it was. It was definitely Raw booking at its best, I would say. But yeah, definitely a dud of a match. Next we had Undertaker versus Big Show. To me, this was the match of the night. It was very good. You know, they ended up voting for a last man standing match, which, you know, you had two guys. I think they were hoping for a knockout match, but they went instead for the last man standing match, which is kind of the same thing. And they did a really good job, I thought. Particularly, this was a very... I'm a big man. I like seeing two big men go at it. And you just looked at two legit super heavyweights going at it. And I really liked it. I thought it was a great big man match. 4 stars. You know, I'm kind of a mark for Big Show, and I'm definitely an Undertaker mark, so I probably enjoyed this maybe a little bit better than some people did. But I really, really liked it, and thought it was a lot of fun. Then we had, let's see, what do we have after that? Then we had Jeff Hardy versus Triple H. Rematch. I don't think anyone's surprised that the fans voted for this instead of taking on Kozlov. Though I was surprised because Kozlov didn't even get into the match. They basically let them go out there and do their own thing. I will say this, for everybody that griped about the last match, take your complaints and gripe at it for this match, because this match, all of your complaints from the last match, I think this makes more sense from this match, as I think, you know, if you want to say Triple H buried somebody, though I really wouldn't say he buried him, but to me this was worse than the match before, definitely with the way it ended. But it was still very good. These guys have really good chemistry together, but still, you know, it wasn't as good as the last one because of that. The ending just was kind of, you know, there, I would say, but I would still go 3.5 stars for it. So there we go. Then we had Chris Jericho versus Batista, and of course there was the special referee. With no one's real surprise, Steve Austin won. 74% of the vote. He won nastily. That said, this was what you would expect. It was a good match. A good 3.5 stars, I would say. And I will say that because of the overbooking. I actually thought the overbooking here was really good, to the point that Steve Austin took the bump, then Shawn Michaels came out, kind of cost Jericho, wouldn't count for Chris Jericho. Then Randy Orton came out at one point, and they did a really good job of, you know, where TNA will go and show the guys coming out. They didn't. You just heard the fans, you know, kind of going, oh, getting excited, and then the guys came out, which made a lot more sense and made it a little bit more suspenseful for the people watching on TV. You had all of this going on, but it really didn't have anything to do really with the end of the match, because by the end of the match it was basically a clean finish, with, of course, most people know Batista going over, which I'm not too big on because I think that really limits on what you're going to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if, even though people are saying we probably won't see it to WrestleMania, Batista versus Cena in some way, shape, or form, since Batista basically is the one that broke, you know, the vertebrae, or, you know, storyline-wise, for John Cena. John Cena comes up and we have some sort of Batista John Cena thing at Survivor Series. But this was still, like I said, I enjoyed this match. Even the overbooking, I actually kind of liked the overbooking a little bit on this match. 3.5. You can call me biased, whatever. So overall, I'd give it a 7.5. It was a good, solid show in my opinion. Not a great show, but it was good. So, and you know, Cyber Sunday is one of my more. I think that Cyber Sunday has a lot more potential to it than what, you know, the WWE uses, unfortunately. So there is that. Now let's get to Gabe Sapolsky. For those of you that do not know Sapolsky, sorry. Gabe was let go, fired from Ring of Honor over the weekend. Pretty much nobody knows why as of yet. Everyone's keeping very closed mouth, though I'm sure there is one website that will start gathering and is probably jumping for joy that this happened. Actually, 2 websites are probably jumping for joy that this happened because of their hatred for Gabe. Since we don't know what's going on, there's been lots of rumors. One rumor is because you know, sales have been kind of down, but that hasn't been such a big surprise because of the economy, that they decided to go in a different direction. There's also the TV deal where, you know, Gabe has been pretty adamant about not being on TV. He doesn't think they're ready for TV, and that So they've decided to go another direction with the company to get ready for TV, and you're going to see a new booker. Now what that means as far as guys bringing in new directions, we don't know. Now I said a couple months ago, I believe I said it on here, maybe I didn't, but I know I've said it before, that I think that Gabe has been kind of burnt out, and that they needed to bring in at least one other booker to work with Gabe, just to throw ideas off of each other, because I think you can do a lot better with two guys just throwing ideas off of each other than one. But so we'll have to kind of see where it goes. I've always liked, Gabe has been the only booker really in Ring of Honor. As far as who's going to take over, we don't know. Some people have said it's going to be Bushwhacker Luke, who he's booked in Puerto Rico before. Apparently did a pretty good job, though he has a different booking style than what Gabe had. Maybe they're going to go, more of a hardcore direction. Maybe, there's a lot of people going out. If I had my pick, I would say Raven. I know a lot of people have said Paul Heyman, but if you got rid of Gabe, why would you bring in Paul Heyman? Really? Some people might say the same about Raven, but if you were going to bring in somebody, I would say Raven. I've also, just thinking about it, I thought maybe this had something to do with Chikara as well, that they wanted to go more of a Chikara route. And so, who knows, maybe we're going to see, more, maybe one of Quackenbush's students, or maybe someone who thinks more along the lines of Quackenbush will come on and do that sort of thing. I like Chikara a lot. It's not for everybody. Most of the die-hard Ring of Honor fans really like Chikara because they get what Chikara is. Not a lot of people do, and that's not to say, oh, we get it and you don't. But either you're gonna like it or you're not, kind of deal with Chikara. So it's going to be interesting to see. I am sorry to see Gabe go. Of course, this could all be a work. I don't think it's a work, but you never know in pro wrestling. I mean, people have thought stranger and stupider things have been works that were not works. So there is that too. So basically, I'm going to say the same thing I always say when stuff like this happens and we don't know anything about it, is wait and see, basically, and let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it plays out. If it plays out to where they bring in somebody who I think could help the product, that would be good. If we start hearing things of why Gabe, was let go, and it makes sense, and we all kind of understand, we'll go with that as well. But most, I think, even myself and every other true, I would say, diehard Ring of Honor fan has had their whims with Gabe stuff. Nobody's a perfect booker. Gabe, is far from a perfect booker, I think most people would say. But I think in the context of how Ring of Honor is set up, and the fact that you're only doing 4 shows a month, and you're gearing your audience towards a DVD audience that has to buy the shows, I think you did a really good job booking. Always did. Not a lot of people are going to agree with that, but hey, what are you going to do? But that's just kind of my studying on that. Like I said, nobody really knows right now. Probably when we find out more, I will probably talk about it more. But we really don't know at the moment, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see, sort of thing. But anyways, with that, I am out. Everybody have a good one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.